Today we will talk about LSMW. I'm typing it here, LSMW. So we have to understand what is LSMW. It is nothing but legacy system migration workbench. So this is a standard ETL tool provided by SAP. It is called standard ETL tool. So what is this ETL tool? Or essentially, ETL tool is used to maintain data, to upload bulk data. You have the option of creating data records manually. You also have the option of maintaining bulk data. The data can be PA data or OM data. You can maintain PM data or OM data. That is what is LSMW. It's a standard ETL tool. LSMW is nothing but legacy system migration workbench. So there are 14 steps. The T code also is the same. LSMW. T code is also the same. It has 14 steps. I'm typing LSMW and hitting on enter. So this one is not only specific to PA subject. This is also applicable for other subjects because essentially it is a tool. LSMW is a tool. What is this tool? It is an ETL tool for data upload. You can maintain data in Excel sheet or you can maintain data in flat file or notepad. So what I've done here is I have maintained the T code LSMW and hit enter. Then you are coming here. You can see here when I enter there, it's saying welcome to the legacy system migration workbench. LSM workbench is an SAP system tool that supports you when copying data from non-SAP systems. Essentially, you are maintaining the non-SAP system data into SAP system. So you are using LSMW or legacy system migration workbench. And I'm clicking on enter. Okay, so this is the second screen that is popping up when you enter LSMW T code. You can maintain some project name, any project name you can maintain. For example, 2003 some sub project you can maintain, and some object also you can maintain. Any of the objects you can maintain. Say HR, I can type HR some 7005 or something I can maintain. All you have to do is you have to, okay, it's not there. Let me find out. Okay, it's not there. That's fine. We can check some of the existing ones. Project. Let me select some project. There are 14 steps. I want to discuss those 14 steps because they are asking about it in the interview. about LSMW, so I'm going with this subject also after dynamic actions. Let me go for IDES. Let's see if it is working out. When I hit enter, when I enter the relevant data, the data I have entered, project details and other sub details I have entered, then I'm coming to this screen. Now this has, you can see, it has 14 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So let's understand what each one is. Maintain object attributes, maintain source structures, maintain source fields, maintain structure relationships, field mapping and conversion rules, maintain fixed values, translations, user defined routines, specify files, assign files, read data, display read data, all these convert data, display converted data, batch input session and run batch input session. So you can execute one after the other. For example, I can select this one. I can maintain object attributes. One by one, I can execute all these 14 steps. So in interview, the question is generally they ask how many steps are involved in executing the LSMW. We have calculated these are 14 steps. This is a frequent question. 14 steps. So you are completing the LSMW process with a maximum of 14 steps. Some people may ask you what are these 14 steps. You can say some of the object attributes. For example, you are maintaining the whatever the object or records you are maintaining, those attributes we can maintain. Source structure you can maintain. So what I will do is I'm selecting this object. Click on execute. Maintain object attributes and click on execute. Okay. So when you maintain this is a object which we have already taken this factory calendar maintain special rules. So you can maintain certain objects, methods, program names, program times. This is not active for input right now because of the object that we have chosen. You can maintain, otherwise it should be active for input. You can maintain the LSMW object attributes. So when we are maintaining any specific program or any of the values, we have to keep in mind the amount of data that needs to be uploaded. The amount of data that needs to be uploaded. Based on that, we are maintaining this data. For example, if you save this object attributes, when you save this, it should go to maintain source structures. One after the other, we can maintain source structures. Validity dates, you can maintain validity dates, or you can create some subtree, and this is a standard one, VALI, validity date standard one, which is being shown because I'm selecting on existing one just for the purpose of showing the LSMW to you. just for the purpose of doing this. So validity dates, it's a standard one structure, standard one you can maintain. Source field and source structure is important. So whatever are the source fields, these are the validity date source fields. You can create more. You can create more, meaning based on the template that is being uploaded. It may be a flat file, it may be an Excel file. Based on the mode or the headers, we are arriving at the source fields, and we can maintain this validity dates. We have to understand what are structure relationships. So you may be maintaining some of the rules. In this case, this is factory calendar. We will talk about factory calendar later when we are doing other subject. Time management, you will be we will be talking about factory calendar. For now, this is just for example how LSMW works and what are the steps involved. For that purpose, we are going ahead with this. Special rules in factory calendar. So this structure relationship may change because we are using IDS R3. So its predefined one is there, SCA6U2. Its same one is maintained. When you save any of the data, it should be moving one after the other. Maintaining field mapping and conversion rules. So what it means is there is a recording is involved. Recording is involved. So that recording is maintained. We will do one after PAOM is over. We will actually do one live upload through LSMW. We will do, but for now we will do try to understand the theory part. So we are mapping, field mapping, meaning a particular field needs to be populated with the value. Any field that you are uploading data with needs to be filled with a value, and you are not filling it manually. Even if that is 1 or 2 records, or it may be some 500 1000 records, still you need not maintain it manually. For a particular record, whatever the fields we have recorded through LSMW, it should be maintained automatically based on the Excel file. What I'm trying to communicate is, you may have data records in a line, one by one you have maintained. There is an Excel file, for example. In that Excel file, there is a header. You are maintaining a header. What header? For example, any of the payment object or some name or first name, last name or whatever. It is the header. For a particular column, you are maintaining one header. So one after the other, you are maintaining multiple columns. Why? Because you want to capture data, that particular data in that column. Maybe for multiple employees. For example, some 500 employees or 1000 records. It's not just about employees, any of the records which is maintained. So when you are maintaining those records, the records will have some fields, and each field or whatever is the relevant field should be populated automatically, which is nothing but an upload, data upload. That is the reason you are using LSMW. Data, whatever data needs to be filled, you are recording, and those fields are automatically filled based on your file, Excel file or Notepad. Based on Notepad or the Excel file, the data is uploaded to the SAP system. This is for a field mapping, meaning for a particular column, that field value should be mapped to which field is the question. So you system should know that. For example, what I am saying is you are maintaining some education details. In education details, in certificate field, you are maintaining the field value. You are not maintaining manually. System should automatically maintain, meaning you are maintaining some MBA for certificate for some employee, BCA for another employee, or BCom for another employee. These are automatically maintained for that particular field. So that field needs to be recorded first of all, so that system is checking in the Excel file and updating the SAP system automatically. That is the very purpose of LSMW, which is a standard ETL tool. Okay, so it's the same thing. LSMW we've been discussing. Hit on enter and we are maintaining something, some values we are maintaining. Field mapping and conversion rules. Maintain fixed values, translations, user defined routines. For IDAS reusable rules, we maintained fixed rules, translations, user defined routines. These things you can maintain. Translation, user defined fields, path. We are maintaining the path. Specify files. Files meaning specifying, assigning files are nothing but whatever we discussed. For example, some Excel file or flat file. Based on that flat file, system need to update. For example, legacy data or imported data, whatever data it is, system should specify that file. You have to give the path for the file. Assign files, let me go for assign files. Specify files and assign files are maintained one after the other. We can create after OM subject is also over. I will come back to this and we will try to practically maintain some data. For now, you have to understand, because it's like part of PA, it can be part of OM also. LSMW, it can be part of PA or OM. Display data, convert data, read data, all these steps we have to maintain. There is some error, data error is there. create batch input session and run batch input session. You can maintain these files batch input folder. You can give the path actually, and you can maintain automatically. File will be updated in the SAP system. I'm not executing anything, I'm just showing you the steps. For example, run batch input session. You can execute one by one. It will show all the records one after the other. So mostly in interview, they're asking only these 14 steps. They're asking what is LSMW, how many steps are there in LSMW. Sometimes they may also ask some of the steps. What are those 14 steps? This is important from the interview point of view. That's why we are talking about it. You can also use BDC, BDC development for particular data record. That is also similar, but that's not a standard ETL tool. That needs to be developed for your project. BDC needs to be developed specifically for your project. Based on the project requirement, you can maintain BDC. For BDC also, you are doing the recording just like you are doing in LSMW. Though LSMW is a standard ETL tool, BDC you have to actually record. For example, how do you record? That one also we will check. BDC we will not check, LSMW we will check. For example, you are doing hiring action. So for hiring action, you are specifying some field values, you are leaving some other field values. For example, I am specifying payroll area, date of birth. These things I'm specifying. Some of the things I'm leaving out. Maybe organizational key I'm leaving out. Administrator group I'm leaving out. Or nationality I'm leaving out. So you have to tell the system which fields need to do the recording. Means actually you have to run an hiring action. This is an example, meaning you have to tell the system by running the hiring action so that system records those fields which you are entering data, and that data, that format you are maintaining in the Excel file with the header as columns, different columns. So if you are doing hiring for one person, system can do hiring for 500 persons automatically. How it is doing that? It is doing based on the recording that you have done and based on the Excel file that you are going to upload, which is similar to LSMW. The only difference is BDC is a development object while LSMW is a standard ETL tool. Okay, this one we will also again discuss once we are done with the subjects, like OM is done, another thing. So majorly we are done with PA subjects. If you have discussion, anything you need to discuss about PA module, you are free to ask anything regarding PA subject. Next we will start with OM module, and it is important that you are good at both PA and OM before we move on to other topics. Okay, uh, is it audible whatever I am saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yagya, so I'd like to know why students are not joining on time, and not everybody is joining. I think today's a couple of people are missing, right?